All right, Coach. Just got back from your road trip, 1-1. I guess without looking at the individual results, to me that's a successful trip to Texas, taking one game on the road. How do you kind of look back on the week that was playing, winning at Texas and then the setback at Houston?
Well, it's a good win at Texas. I thought our guys really played well. Come behind victory. Guys kept fighting, kept competing, and gave us a chance at the end to win, and just really proud of their effort. Of course, then we go to Houston, and you give Houston a lot of credit. I thought they played a really good game, especially defensively, and I didn't think we responded to that. And so we have to get better in those areas, and we will. We're learning as we go through this conference what we need to do to be successful, and I think the game versus Houston will serve us well as we move forward based on what we were able to find out about ourselves and where we can grow from.
What's kind of the attitude among the players been like heading into the West Virginia game?
Well, we have to respond. We have to regroup and respond. That's been our motto all season long. In this league, I mean, it's an incredible basketball conference. And so, you have to understand, you have to take a next play mentality and focus all your energy on what's in front of you. And right now, that's West Virginia. Another terrific basketball team. They're healthy now. A lot of the guys are eligible now. And so we have a lot of respect for, who they can be as a program as well. So for us, we just need to take it, one game at a time, and they're our next opponent. We need to prepare for them vigorously.
Your win against Texas went viral, not really because of the victory, but just the comments from, Texas head coach Rodney Terry afterward. Did you see anything that you thought maybe your team that was maybe classless? These were the words that he used. How did you address what happened after the game?
Well, I didn't see anything because I walked off the floor. We don't, switch in, so I didn't see what transpired at the time. So for me, I just walked off the court. I didn't hear about any of that until I was in the press conference. So as you can imagine, I was a little surprised. But I know Coach Terry, Rodney's a good guy. And, basketball is an emotional sport like all sports are. They're very emotional, and things can happen like that. But I thought our guys, just like anyone that win the game like that or any kind of situation, they're excited about the win, and and that was to the extent of it. I think when they went to the shake line, everyone was cordial. They shook hands like they was like we always do, sportsmanship wise, and that was the extent of what we did. But were they happy? They should be. Any team that wins any game should be excited. You invest so much, in each one of these games in preparation. So when you win, it's big. And I'm sure when they won the other night, they felt the same way when they won the game the other night versus Baylor. I'm sure they were very excited. And so that's the extent of it. And but like I said, I know Coach Terry. He's a good guy, and I'm sure he just, it's one of those things that happens in our sport.
And has Coach Terry reached out to you, piggybacking on that, since the incident?
No, I have not spoken with him. But like I said, I do know him. We're friends, and so there's no real need on my end. I understand just that emotions can run hot in those situations, and we're human beings. And so, I did read somewhere where he did apologize, publicly for it, and that says a lot. That means taking ownership of what happened, and then we move forward.
Looking at that Houston game, they're excellent defensively. I guess it wasn't surprising how they were going to defend you. It made it a really tough night for you on the offensive end. What did you kind of maybe take away from that game? What do you think your guys need to learn from that game going forward? Because you're going to face Houston later on in the year too.
Well, not just Houston, but a number of teams in our league. Just the how to play through the physicality, how to keep your composure in those situations are things that we have to learn and grow. Houston, we know them from when we were in the American together, so we have a great deal of respect for their program and their coach and what they do. And for us, it's just all about trying to get better. I think by playing a game like that in that environment, I think we will improve from it. I think our guys will get better because of the experience they had.
As you said before, and you've been saying in a different press conference, you and your team have been learning through the process, and you're still learning. What kind of things have you learned from the games that already passed?
Well, we're learning that, as we continue to defend, that's where we hang our hat. We found that's been the staple for us. We've been consistently good defensively. Even in the Houston game, I thought we defended fairly well. Offensively, we got to continue to grow and get better. And I think that's going to continue to happen. And so for us, we continue to work on the areas that we need to improve. And we want to not forget the things that we do well, like how we guard. We can even guard better. So we're working on those things to improve in those areas too.
West Virginia kind of had some early season growing pains, but they look like they're starting to click. They just beat Kansas. They beat Texas as well. They're maybe closer to full strength. I know Jesse Edwards, I believe, might be back for tomorrow night. I'm not sure. He's getting close. But what do you kind of know about the challenge you'll be facing in the Mountaineers?
Another really good basketball team, a lot of talent, well coached. They're a team that, as we prepare, I've been watching them, and they're playing some of their best basketball now, and when it counts the most. And that's what you want to do as a program. It's not where you are in November, it's where you are in January and February. As you mentioned, they're starting to get healthy, they're starting to get a feel for each other, and they're playing well.
After the road trip, and also getting the big win over Texas, what are you hoping to see from the fans as you guys come back home?
Oh, I would love to see a lot of energy and enthusiasm in the building like we've had all Big 12 play. I mean, our fans have been terrific. And as I said before, we're going to, honor our fans by going out there, giving a winning effort every time we step foot on the floor. I think our guys have done that. And so we need everybody, to rally around us for us to be successful. Because when we step foot off campus and we leave our state, everyone's rallying around those teams and every one of those venues we've been at. They've been amazing. And so we need to do the same thing here. And our fans, our supporters, and our students, they've done that. I just want us to continue to do it as well.
You were talking about West Virginia getting closer to a full roster. Raekwon Battle was one of those players they didn't have early on, and I guess he was eligible mid to late December. He's averaging like 20 points a game. What is Raekwon Battle? What kind of a challenge is he going to be?
Man, he's a terrific player. I mean, 3-level scorer. He's long. He's athletic. I've seen him hit the three. I've seen him go into a mid-range game. I've seen him get all the way to the basket and finish. He's long defensively. He's active. He's a really, really good basketball player. I'm sure he's a terrific get for those guys, and he's a great addition there that he's back eligible.
You mentioned that Jalen Sellers didn't start the Texas game because he couldn't practice the week before. How's he doing, and is there any other injury updates for the team?
No. Everyone's fine right now. Jalen, of course, he missed a few practices prior to that game, and so you missed the day before the game practice when we're doing a lot of our heavy prepping and going through everything. So rather than throw you in that situation, it's better to maybe come off and assess the game as it's being played a little bit before you step out there. And I thought he handled it really well. I mean, he ended up starting the second half, as you know. But, yeah, we have just a standing policy to make sure that our guys are really prepped well. We're big on just scouting and preparation. And so when you're not out there to go through it all for us, it's tough to just throw you out there like that.
I know you talked, I think, in this press conference 1 week ago about Shamari Allen, how he can be an excellent scorer. He did it last year, and we finally started to kind of see some glimpses of what he could do in that Texas game. He really seemed to take over in the second half. How pleasing was that to see, and is that obviously something you hope continues in these future Big 12 games?
It's definitely, something I hope continues because he's capable. I have a lot of confidence in him, and I mean, he's been better than expected from the standpoint. I envisioned who I thought he would be. But he brings so many intangibles to a team that you don't see, just like, his overall leadership, his one-on-one and interpersonal relationship with his teammates, with us as coaches. I mean, he's a natural-born leader, competitor. I mean, I would go to war with him anytime. He's a great competitor. When you're competing, you want to look to your left and to your right and know that guy has your back and he's with you. And he's that all the time. And so those are things that I wasn't quite sure. I'd heard some of those things, but I wasn't quite sure until you actually get a young man, and he brought those things at a higher level than I expected. And then offensively, as you saw, more than capable. More than capable. I think his are just really getting comfortable with us and understanding what we want from him. And we're explaining it, but it just still takes young people, time to figure it out. We're a new coaching staff for him, and it's not like the old days where you got a freshman and you have him as a senior. These guys are coming in fast and they're leaving fast. So I think as he gets more and more comfortable, we'll see more and more flashes of what you saw versus Texas.
For him to be a team captain, coming in first, he's like, what are maybe some of you talked about his leadership? What were some things that have really struck you about him? Is he a good one-on-one player? Is he a good speaker? What kind of does he do off the court that impresses you?
One, he has a really good understanding of the game, and two, he's a very good communicator. So when it comes to his teammates or us as a staff, great communicator, and he does it in a way where he's so positive. So he brings a lot of positive energy. So when he's talking to you, you don't feel like you're being, gotten on, because he's saying it in such a good way. It's helping you grow without feeling that, here's someone saying something to me again. I didn't box out, or I didn't, I turned it over. His way of communicating, I think, it gets through to the guys, and it really helps them kind of understand how to move forward.
Coming back to the victory over Kansas and Texas, what has been the biggest reason for the success so far, not only on the game but also mentally for the players and for you?
Well, I think our guys believe. I think that word belief is very, very powerful, and they truly believe that they can compete, and it starts there. And then I think our guys are really doing a good job of holding each other accountable to our standards. You know, we have good leadership, as you mentioned, with Shamari Allen and Darius Johnson, and they're holding our guys to a very high standard. We're holding them to a high standard. So therefore, I think our guys have really kind of understood, hey, this is what we are, this is what we can become if we continue to work the way that we worked this season.
You talked about belief. Another word that comes to mind is resilience. You guys have come back from multiple double-digit deficits. How have you managed that at halftime, and what is this team's character that allows them to do that?
Well, you know, with their character, these guys are high-character individuals, or you could not come back no matter what you did adjustment-wise. You know, their belief that they can come back is strong. And so when we get to the halftime and we have to make adjustments either, you know, at halftime or during the game, you know, these guys are quick to be able to make those adjustments. But also they believe that if they just keep working hard, keep chipping away, that they can make a comeback. And they've done that several times, which says a lot about them. You know, these guys, like I said, are high-character individuals. They keep competing. The one thing I will say, you know, in the 40-minute game, I just watch effort and energy a lot, and I'm never really disappointed with how hard they compete.
Appreciate it. Looks like
That's good. Thank you,
See you tomorrow.
Thank you,
Thanks.
guys. All right, guys. All right, take care.